Yo, yo, yo. What's good with it, y'all? It's your boy Lamborghini Preem, back once again talking this boxing shit. And this video right here won't be my usual breakdown or prediction. No. This will be just basically my personal assessment on the question of whether or not my man Keith Thurman is actually afraid of Errol Spence, the truth Errol Spence Jr. And I don't know. I had to say, is he afraid? I wouldn't go so far as to say afraid, but is he weary? Yeah, he's certainly weary. Certainly weary of E. Spence, man. And I definitely can't blame him for that. But I will say this. Hold on one second. Let me spark this, y'all. Okay. I will say this. From the interviews I saw from the big Showtime unveiling of their new schedule and all of the different fighters and stuff, I really like how they did that, by the way. That's going to be a good look for all those fighters, man. It was really good to see them all share the stage and, see all the pageantry and pomp and excess that can come with the sport. I actually enjoy that part of it too, just as much as the fights. Because I feel like the drama from those type of events and these things, this is what sets the stage for classic great fights. But the interviews that Keith was doing afterwards, after everything was over with, and I guess they had a huge media scrum where all of the media could talk to all of the different fighters. They all got time, and everybody I saw that interview Keith Thurman. Shout out Fight Hype. Shout out Ellie Segback, my man ES News. Shout out the Boxer Voice. You know how they do. Shout out everybody. But he seemed very, very confident. He seemed content with whatever, kind of taking whatever rocks is gonna be thrown at him for pushing the fight back 2 fights. But I'm actually okay with I'm kind of okay with it. I'll explain why. The first fight back, I give him that, man. He just coming off an injury. Man had some bone spurs and probably some other injuries that he didn't want to disclose, because fighters are athletes, and just like all athletes, they all have injuries all the time, and they train in camps and shit that they don't want to let the world know about, and that's respectable. So who knows what he's really actually getting over in addition to the bone spurs that we actually know about. So I give him a pass on this one. But and plus, the rumor last year was that he was supposed to be fighting Jesse Vargas as his comeback fight, man. If he actually does that, that would be actually very commendable, man. Then I would be inclined to give Keith more of a pass for the 2-fight situation. But absent doing something like that, like if he take on somebody we already know he's guaranteed to beat, like a showcase fight, which I wouldn't blame him for, but if you're going to take a showcase fight, then after that, you need to jump into the motherfucking fire, man. Once you know that your skills are still there and, your barometer has been checked and, you like where you at as far as your progression and recovery from your injuries, you need to be in there fighting some real competition. So I don't really want to see anything other than the Errol Spence fight after that if you don't fight a Jesse Vargas. But if you do fight a Jesse Vargas, I gotta give you some props for that, and I gotta give you another pass, so if the level of competition is a Jesse Vargas and then a Sean Porter and then an Errol Spence, I'm cool with it. But if you go from let's say a Phil LoGreco to then a Sean Porter and then a Errol Spence, I can't rock. I can't bang with that, G. Can't fuck with that. Now I'm not I can't hate, man. I mean, it does seem like although I do believe, I feel like personally, a lot of people are being a little too hard on Keith, because it's been a few other guys who done pulled some fuck shit similar, but not quite so blatant, and not quite so unapologetic, and not quite so flippant when it comes to, the opinions of the people who, buy these fights. But not in recent memory, at least in my opinion. You know what I mean? Some people say Mayweather, but I don't count Mayweather's antics at all, because I believe Mayweather paid enough dues to be able to do what he wanted to do by that time in his career. Every fight after the De La Hoya fight, to me, was how Floyd was playing with house money, man. It was like, who gives a fuck what this man do, because he didn't put it in. He was already a Hall of Famer at that point, in my opinion. 4 division weight champion, or 4, I think it was 4. So when he fought Oscar, he got his 5th, but 4 weight division champion, fought everybody, had everybody make every excuse in the world not to fight him. Just, Floyd was an exceptional case, so he's the exception to the rule. You know what I'm saying? I put him to the left. He don't really count when it comes to this prima donna shit. I feel like Floyd earned the right to be able to do this shit. Keith is not nowhere near that point yet. He's only a unified champion. He's not even an undisputed. So, I mean, you call some shots, yes indeed, and you is entitled to be the A side in most fights, but that don't really mean shit else. You know what I mean? You can't just duck motherfuckers and tell them to wait in their line. Wait in line, or wait their turn per se. Like you the motherfucking king around this bitch as you fight cupcake fights. No, we can't. We don't respect that, man. Now, if you was already undisputed, maybe we could look at some things like that. If you had all 4 belts, maybe we can consider you pulling some fuck shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But because you would have had put it in by then, and your resume would have spoke for itself, and you would have earned a couple just money fights for you to just do what you do. But we ain't at that point quite yet, big boy. So what I want to see from Keith Thurman personally, man, or what I would like to see is I would like to see more of that Keith Thurman and his Zanjavic, I hope I pronounced his name correctly, but the older guy that Keith Thurman beat, when right after he won the fight, he was at the presser talking shit back and forth to Paulie and shit. He had big balls in that situation, you know what I mean? I want to see those type balls when it come to addressing Errol Spence, you know what I mean? And I saw a little bit in those pressers, so I got to give my man one time a little credit. He do look confident that he could beat Errol Spence, and personally, I believe he got a hell of a shot, man. I do think he got the tools to offset a lot of what Spence do, but whether or not that'll, play well into his hands, we don't know. Whether Spence got some extra dimensions that we haven't seen, we don't know that either, so that's why it's such an interesting fight and why the fans is clamoring for it so hard. But yeah, man, that's basically what I would like to see from my man Keith. And yes, I do believe people are being a little too hard on him, but his response to them being hard on him makes it hard for you to root for Keith. You know what I mean? It make it hard for you to defend him, because it's like all of the things that they say about the man, he's not really denying any of it. It's like, why don't you want to fight Errol Spence? Like, you're the champion. It's another guy in your division, basically in your motherfucking territory, that's letting it be known that he's the champion, or he's making a name, enough of a name for himself that there are people out here that believe he is the champion. He's the number one guy, And the Keith Thurman from that Zanjavic fight or whatever, that guy would never allow this shit. That guy, from what I can remember off the top of my head, did an interview where he was very, very specific and explicit when he said that he wanted to plant his flag at the welterweight division and, let it be known that he ran this shit. If you could beat him, beat him. Those was his exact words, So, I mean, we haven't heard from that guy in a very long time. Lately, it's been a lot of politics, coming out Keith Thurman's mouth, And that's really what's rubbing people the wrong way, because it seems like, or at least most people interpret reticence to wanting to fight Spence for whatever political reasons or whatever monetary reasons is out there. It's being looked at as cowardice, you know. And I mean, I can't blame niggas for looking at that shit like it's cowardice. You know, that's how they feel. You know, me personally, I don't feel like Keith Thurman is a coward. No, not at all. No, not at all. But do I feel like he's reticent to fight Spence? Of course. Do I agree with him being reticent to fight Spence? Yes and no. This first fight back, definitely, he shouldn't fight Spence. He's earned the right to, you know, earn one of those. I mean, to do one of those fights where it shows you where you at, kind of thing. But if he looks good like the old Thurman, like we all expect him to look, man, why wouldn't you want to fight Spence now? This is the prime of your career. Your powers are at the strongest they will ever be. Why not take him on now? You know, you got a good chance to win the fight. It's not like he's a slam dunk to beat you. You know, it's not like anybody at welterweight's a slam dunk to beat Thurman. Thurman got a lot of tools, man. Just we need to see more from him, and I think that's really what the fans are like. This backlash is really just a mask for their disappointment. You know what I'm saying? That's what I really think it is. I feel like they expected Thurman to really be the wolf that he appeared to be in the very beginning, and now it's starting to look like he's not really the wolf. Like now he's a businessman, and that's just disappointing to a lot of people who didn't expect to see that come from him. But I mean, just as much as you can't blame him for becoming a businessman, you know, because it's his career and you only get one. But you can't blame the people for, you know, not liking that shit, because that's not how you presented yourself coming in the game. If you'd have presented yourself coming in like a businessman, you don't get quite as much disrespect. You still gonna get shitted on. Ask Danny Garcia. But it wouldn't have been nowhere near to the level that it's on right now. And I mean, this is when you do what you do, you get what you get. You know, that's a whole saying in the hood where I'm from. You do what you do, you get what you get. You know, it basically means if you do some fuck shit, expect some fuck shit. If you do some good shit, expect some good shit. You do some bad shit, expect some bad shit. You know, so what goes around comes around. So Keith, man, when you come in the door barking, you know, huffing and puffing like you'll blow the house down, like you the big bad wolf, we expect to see the big bad wolf at all times. We want consistency. You know what I mean? If you was gonna be a businessman, we would have respected it if you would have been a businessman from the jump. You can't talk shit about guys like Floyd Mayweather and say that you're not gonna act like that and you're not gonna be on that left hand bullshit when the moment you get put into a position that's even close to where he was, you start doing the same fuck shit, you know. And I personally, and the Floyd shit was totally different in my opinion. I'd still say that. I keep admonishing people that this is not the same thing, because again, Floyd had not only paid his dues and earned his spot, he also had opponents that the public would force on him. With the exception of Pacquiao, he fought everybody the public wanted him to fight. You know what I'm saying? When people say he didn't fight any champions, I always have to challenge them by asking, who didn't he fight that you wanted him to fight that you really think could have beat Floyd? It's really no one. No one. You could say cheating ass Margarito, but even that's not true, because Margarito didn't want no smoke with Paul Williams. And we all know, even Paul Williams admit Floyd would have beat Paul Williams. And we all know Floyd would have beat motherfucking Margarito. Shane beat Margarito, so let's not do no revisionist history when it comes to that shit. Floyd earned his shit, and he earned the ability to pick his opponent as he saw fit. You know what I mean? Keith Thurman is nowhere near this level. He's a unified champion, which means there are other champions still in his division that he needs to be fighting. And the main one is Errol Spence Jr. And this is the fight everyone wants to see. So give Keith his little comeback fight. He deserved that. Definitely much respect to him as a champion. And congratulations on the wedding and all that shit. But we ready for the Wolf Thurman back, man. We ready for the Wolf, man. We don't want to see the fuck nigga. We don't want to see the the political strategist Keith Thurman. We don't want to see that guy. We want to see the Wolf Keith one time Thurman, the one everybody was running from a couple years ago. You know what I mean? This 3 fights in 3 years shit. Yeah, this is not gonna. That's not gonna cut it, G. We need at least 2-3 fights a year. 2 fights is not even enough. You're in the prime of your life, man. You should be doing at least 3-4 fights. Why not? You get 3-4 checks instead of 2 checks. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Look at E. Spence, man. He got in there tough with Lamont Peterson. That was a hell of a fighter that he fought in, Lamont Peterson. Beat Lamont Peterson, back on the schedule with y'all, ready to announce his next fight, man. That's the kind of shit I like to see. And I feel like all of y'all should be on. Sean Porter, all the top people at the welterweight division. You know what I'm saying? Sean Porter, who else? Danny Garcia, my man Jesse Vargas, him too. You throw him in there. You know what I'm saying? All of them. You know, even Manny Pacquiao old ass. If he's still in the game, I expect him to play the games the same way as the motherfucking champions do. So, you know, because we ain't never seen him as anything less than that. But, you know, his ass need to retire. That's just my opinion. But that's just my thoughts on it, man. I ain't too mad at Keith, man. Just me personally, you know. I get it. I understand why he's doing what he's doing, but I feel like he need to understand that motherfuckers we're not gonna be okay with, you know, the political maneuvering in the face of what we've always known to be a wolf. We always known you to be a wolf, man. We don't expect you to become a political strategist out of nowhere like that, man. So later for that shit, man. Get back on your wolf shit. Take over the welterweight division. Give your fans a reason to salute you like they want to. Because right now, shit, they can't even defend you. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers making videos, they just going in on you. They can't even defend you, G. You know what I mean? Shit, you can't defend this shit. All you can do is fight this comeback fight, man. Hope it do what it's supposed to do. Bounce back, hopefully, and then fight E. Spence. But we all know you're going to take a cupcake fight. Then you're going to try to fight somebody else you can probably beat. And then after that, you know, I mean, because, again, I do want to see a Sean Porter. Don't get me wrong. I want to see a Sean Porter rematch, but not before I see an Errol Spence first match. You know what I mean? So that's just my thoughts on the whole thing. Don't forget, y'all, if you fuck with me, to make sure you stop by my official site, hustlegameboss.com, and check out my all-new album, It's My Turn, the Throne Ascension LP. It's a motherfucking classic. I'm already working on the follow-up right now, you know what I mean? I'm just really excited. Got a bunch of videos off the album that I didn't get a chance to shoot last year because of a bunch of personal matters going on, as far as a few deaths in my family that had me in a position where I needed to kind of regroup. But, you know, I done got it together, you know. I show love to everybody that deserved it, and now it's time to move forward. And I want to make sure that I show love to everybody that show love to me. So if you go to my site, hustlegameboss.com, and cop something, you know what I'm saying, take a picture of it, tag me in a post or something, let me know that you did something, and I'll make sure I show you some love, you know what I mean, because I appreciate those who appreciate me enough to support, you know what I mean. That's some G shit all the way around, something I respect highly. So, you know, I'm going to show you some love, you show me some love. Follow me on Twitter at HustleGameBoss. Follow me on Instagram at HustleGameBoss. Find me on Facebook, The Supreme General. You can search for me on YouTube, watch some of my music videos on my other channel. You know what I mean? YouTube.com/Supreme General. I'm everywhere like broken glass, baby. Go on and fuck with me one time, man. Start fucking with the best. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all. I'm on to the next one. 100.